Story 1 of 3. Federal court restricts work-from-home tax deductions for rent and transport. Federal court restricts work-from-home tax deductions for rent and transport. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The federal court ruled against ABC Sports presenter Ned Hall, overturning an administrative review tribunal decision that allowed his work-from-home tax claim for rent and transport during COVID lockdowns. Ned Hall claimed deductions for occupancy of a second bedroom used as a home office and transport costs to his workplace during Melbourne's COVID lockdowns. The federal court ruled that rent for a home is fundamentally private in nature, even if partially used for work, and that travel from home to work is fundamentally private under tax law. Cutton Law School tax expert Lizzie Morton stated that the ruling sets a high bar for claiming occupancy expenses like rent, particularly for employees who are not self-employed. The case involved test case funding, meaning the taxpayer, Hall, was supported in legal costs due to legal uncertainty in this area. But not all outlets told the same story. The two articles are identical in content and do not contain any contradictions. This story was covered by Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 2 of 3. Fatal car crash in Perth Hills kills 3 adults. Fatal car crash in Perth Hills kills 3 adults. Here's what every outlet agrees on. 3 adults died after a vehicle crashed into a tree on Stoneville Road, Perth Hills, around 8:50 a.m. on Saturday, April 11, 2026. The crash occurred on Stoneville Road in the Perth Hills, approximately 30 kilometers from Perth CBD. Major crash investigators from Western Australia Police are leading the investigation. The road was closed to all traffic following the crash while investigations were conducted. This story was covered by ABC News and news.com.au. Story 3 of 3. APY Lands Indigenous Art Exhibition opens after controversy and delays. APY Lands Indigenous Art Exhibition opens after controversy and delays. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The exhibition Ngura Puka, Epic Country opened at the National Gallery of Australia in Canberra on April 10, 2026, after a 3-year delay. The exhibition features 30 large-scale paintings by Indigenous artists from the Angu Pitjant Jatara Yankinit Jatara, APY Lands, including 49 artists in total. The exhibition was originally scheduled to open in June 2023 but was postponed due to allegations published in the Australian newspaper in April 2023. The allegations, titled White Hands on Black Art, claimed white studio assistants had painted substantial sections of works credited to Indigenous artists in the APY Arts Centre Collective, APYAC. The National Gallery of Australia commissioned an independent review into the provenance of 28 paintings in the exhibition, which determined they met the gallery's provenance standards. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states that the NGA investigation focused on the provenance of only the 28 paintings destined for its exhibition, while the ABC does not specify the number of paintings investigated. The Guardian mentions that the APYAC was expelled from the Indigenous Art Code and lost state funding, while the ABC does not explicitly mention the loss of state funding but notes the collective's expulsion from the code. The Guardian reports that the APYACC's federal funding applications have been adversely affected by their expulsion from the Indigenous Art Code, while the ABC does not provide details on federal funding impacts. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian.